If you've been feeling like you're missing something, like maybe you should be more confident, more certain, more ready before you make any kind of move, I want to start by offering you a simple reassurance. You're not behind, you're not late, and you're not lacking what it takes. In fact, if anything, you may be standing in the middle of something you haven't fully recognized yet. Many people reach this stage of their career carrying a quiet question they rarely say out loud. Why does it feel like I have so much experience, yet so little clarity about what comes next? That question doesn't come from failure, it comes from growth. I've met countless professionals who look accomplished on paper, long careers, trusted voices, respected by peers, and yet beneath that, there is a sense of restlessness, a feeling that their work no longer stretches them, no longer reflects who they've become. Not because they've lost their edge, but because the structure around them hasn't kept up with the depth of their thinking. When your role stops evolving but you keep growing, tension is inevitable. That tension often gets misread as doubt or uncertainty, when in reality, it's a signal that your capacity has outgrown its current container. I remember a conversation with someone who had spent decades doing excellent work, consistently delivering results, and quietly mentoring others along the way. When we talked, he had said something that stuck with me. He said, I don't feel lost, I feel unused. That distinction matters. Feeling unused doesn't mean you lack value. It means the system you're in no longer knows how to make full use of what you bring. Most organizations, they're designed to extract repeatable outputs, not to cultivate seasoned judgment. They reward efficiency, not wisdom. So when you reach a point where your greatest contribution is perspective, synthesis, discernment, the system can feel strangely constricting. This is where many people begin to doubt themselves unnecessarily. They look for motivation when what they really need is orientation. They assume they need new skills, new credentials, or some kind of reinvention, when the truth is that their expertise is already there. It's just unstructured. Experience accumulates faster than language does. You've been solving complex problems for so long that much of what you do now feels obvious to you. And when something feels obvious, it's easy to assume it must not be all that valuable. But ease is not evidence of insignificance. Often it's just the opposite. Ease is what comes from mastery. There's a concept in cognitive psychology that helps explain this. As people gain expertise, their thinking becomes more intuitive. They see patterns quickly. They skip steps others still need. They know what will work before they can fully explain why. That is incredibly powerful and incredibly hard to articulate without the right framework. So, instead of recognizing that they've reached a higher level of judgment, many professionals conclude that they're not sure what they do anymore. What's actually happening is that their knowledge has become tacit. It lives in decisions, not in bullet points. This is why the question, what do you want to do next, often feels a bit overwhelming. It assumes the problem is desire when the real issue is just translation. You don't need to become someone else. You need a way to name, organize, and aim where you already know. Once that happens, confidence tends to return quickly. Not because you suddenly feel brave, but because things start to make sense again. Clarity reduces anxiety, structure restores momentum. Here's the reframe I want to offer you. If you're feeling uncertain right now, it's not because you lack capability. It's because you're standing at the edge of an identity shift. You're moving from being defined by a role to being defined by the value that you add. That transition, yeah, it can feel disorienting, especially if you spent years succeeding inside clear structures. But the ability to step back, reflect, and ask deeper questions about your contribution, it's not a weakness. It's a sign of professional maturity. You've already built the raw material, the insight, the judgment, the discernment. What's missing isn't effort or ambition. It's just a map. And maps don't create the terrain, they simply reveal it. When people can finally see the shape of what they know and how it fits into the world, something shifts internally. They stop asking, am I ready? And start asking, where does this belong? That's a much more grounded question. If this resonates with you, if you recognize yourself in that quiet sense of being underutilized rather than unqualified, I've created a free guide that helps experienced professionals begin naming and organizing their expertise in a way that brings clarity and direction. It's not a promise and it's not a pitch. It's simply a tool to help you see what's already there with fresh eyes. If it's useful, you're welcome to download it and work through it at your own pace. And if nothing else, I hope this conversation leaves you with one steady thought to carry forward. You're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience.